All right, let's talk about a number that for most people is the single most important financial milestone they will probably never hit. $100,000. Getting there is brutally hard, but it's also the exact point where everything changes. I want you to picture this. You're in line at a coffee shop. The person in front of you, they've got the expensive watch, you saw them pull up in a Tesla, and they just ordered some $12 latte without even blinking. They look successful, they look wealthy, but what if I told you that's all just an illusion? Because statistically speaking, there is a 75% chance that the person who looks so incredibly put together on the outside has less than 15 grand to their name. Seriously, that watch? Oh, it's financed. The Tesla? That's a lease. And that air of confidence? It's probably funded by credit cards and a salary that's already spent before it even hits their account. This right here is the illusion of wealth that keeps 3/4 of people financially trapped for their entire lives. And this really gets to the heart of the biggest misunderstanding that most of us have about money. We confuse having a high income with having actual wealth, and trust me, they are not the same thing. Not even close. So here's the crucial difference. Income is the money that hits your bank account every 2 weeks. It comes and it goes. Wealth, on the other hand, is what stays. It's the money that's actually working for you, growing while you're sleeping. You can make 6 figures a year and be completely, totally broke. The real game is about what happens after that paycheck arrives. And the reality? Well, it's pretty stark. The average person at age 30 has about $7,000 saved. By age 50, after a whole career, most have less than $60,000. People are definitely earning money, sometimes a lot of it. They're just not keeping any of it. So why does this happen? Well, it really boils down to 3 behavioral traps that are incredibly easy to fall into and almost impossible to escape once you're caught. First up, we've got lifestyle creep. This is the silent assassin of wealth building. You get a raise, say from $45,000 to $60,000, and suddenly your apartment feels a little too small. Your car looks kind of old. A year later, you're making more money than ever before, but you feel just as broke because every single new dollar got spent on a bigger, better lifestyle. Think about that. You got a promotion and actually went backwards financially. The second trap is what I call the payments mentality. Financing has totally rewired how we think about what something costs. We don't ask, can I afford to buy this anymore? No. Instead, we ask, can I afford the monthly payment? And the answer to that question is almost always designed to be yes. And here's the hidden cost, the part they don't want you to think about. You finance that $35,000 car, and by the time you're done paying for it, you've actually paid over $41,000. That's $6,000, poof, gone. Just vanished into interest for the privilege of not having to wait, all while the car itself was dropping in value. You're basically just renting a lifestyle on credit. And the final trap, man, this one is the most devastating of all: delay. Just look at this. If you start investing $5,000 a year at 25, you could have $1.4 million by retirement. But if you wait just 10 years, just a decade, and start at 35, you end up with less than half of that. A 10-year delay cuts your future wealth in half. You just can't out-earn that kind of bad math. It's impossible. But here is the good news. There is a specific number, a threshold, where this entire game shifts, where that agonizing uphill climb gets surprisingly easier. And that number is $100,000. The legendary billionaire investor Charlie Munger, he put it pretty bluntly. And you know what? He was absolutely right. Getting to that first 100K is a grind. But the reason it's so important is all about a mathematical reality that most people just quit before they ever get to experience. Because once you have $100,000 invested, let's say at an 8% return, your money is now earning $8,000 a year all by itself. That's almost $700 a month that you didn't have to lift a finger for. Your money is officially working for you. And this creates such a powerful psychological shift. It's not some abstract goal way off in the future anymore. You're seeing real, noticeable income being generated. And you start treating your investment account like a machine you need to protect and feed because you can actually see it working. It finally becomes real. And you can just see how this whole thing accelerates over time. So if it takes you until you're about 36 to hit your first 100,000, the next 100,000 only takes 4 years. Then the next one takes 3, then 2.5. The time between these huge milestones just keeps shrinking because compounding is finally doing the heavy lifting for you. The giant boulder you were pushing uphill, it's finally starting to roll on its own.
So, how do you actually do it? All right, this is the brutal, unsexy, and totally honest plan. This isn't about some secret stock tip, this is all about discipline.
First things first, you have to accept a hard truth. For the next few years, you're going to have to say no. A lot. No to the big vacation, no to the new car, no to constantly eating out. You have to be okay with being the weird one in your friend group because you're playing a totally different game. The plan itself is simple. Step 1. For 1 month, track every single dollar. No judgment, you just need the data. Step 2. Find and cut the waste. Subscriptions you forgot about, impulse buys, all that convenience spending, it's gotta go. Step 3. Automate your savings. Pay yourself first automatically the day your paycheck hits. And step 4, if you need to, focus on increasing your core earning power. Get some new skills. Now, I have to warn you, the hardest part isn't at the beginning. It's when you hit around $50,000. You are exhausted from years of saying no, and you're so tempted to reward yourself with something big. This is the danger zone. This is where most people crack and blow all their progress. You have to push through it because the real magic is right around the corner. And that brings us to the real point of all this. The goal isn't just to stack up a pile of money. No, the ultimate prize is something way more valuable. It's about buying back your time. So while everyone else is out there financing experiences just so they can post them online, you are quietly building an asset base. While they're posting pictures from Tulum, you're buying yourself a decade of freedom. While they're renting their lifestyle, you are buying yours. For real. Because wealth isn't the Rolex or the Tesla. True wealth is simply the gap between what you earn and what you spend, multiplied by time and protected from your own worst impulses. The person driving that 10-year-old Toyota with a fat, growing brokerage account, that's the person who's winning, not the person who's performing for Instagram. Proving to yourself that you can hit that first $100,000 is all the proof you need that you can win this game. After that, it's just momentum. So the real question isn't if you'll be okay financially. The question is, what are you going to do with all that freedom, with all those years of your life that you just bought back?